Hello, I'm Dr. Moti Adler. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you probably don't have absolute pitch. However, I'm happy to inform you that you do have another musical ability that is close to absolute pitch. Now, what is absolute pitch anyway? Absolute pitch, or perfect pitch, is the ability to identify the pitch of a given sound without the help of a reference sound. For example, people with absolute pitch will know instantly that this sound is a G, or that this sound is a C sharp. Now, absolute pitch is quite a rare phenomenon, and only a small percentage of the population possesses it. Among professional musicians it is more common, however, there are many perfectly skilled musicians without absolute pitch. I myself, for example, don't have absolute pitch. However, I, like other professional musicians, have pretty good relative pitch. Relative pitch is the ability to identify a given note after you've been given a reference note. If you play me this note and tell me that it was a C, I'll immediately know that the next note is an F. All trained musicians, or at least classically trained musicians, have or should have good relative pitch. Now I would like to talk about another interesting musical skill that is shared by most music listeners, both musicians and non-musicians alike. Actually, in this video, I invite you to experience and enjoy this musical ability for yourselves. What you and I and most music listeners share is the ability to remember the correct pitch or key of musical pieces across long periods of time. This skill is not absolute pitch, however, it does share certain similarities with absolute pitch. And you have it. In an interesting cognitive experiment, researchers took known musical pieces and created artificial versions of them by changing their pitch. It turns out that when listeners heard different versions of the music, they could generally tell the original version from the artificial ones. Now, let's try this now, together. It's going to be fun. I'll play two versions of the song Let It Be by the Beatles. One of the versions will be the original version in its original pitch, and the other one will be the artificial one, which I manipulated to be in a different pitch. I won't tell you yet which is which version is the original one. Try to decide for yourself. Which is the original version, the first one or the second one? Here is version 1.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
And here is version 2.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
The original version was the second version. Now, did you get it right? And was it easy for you? Please, let me know. Now, you might say that this was easy because the artificial version distorted Paul McCartney's voice, and what we actually heard was the distortion rather than the change of pitch. No problem. Let's move on to instrumental music without human voice. I'll play the famous Prelude in C major by Bach. Again, I'll play two versions of the piece, one in its original pitch and one in a different pitch. Try to identify which is the original version. Here is version 1. And here is version 2. The original version this time was the first version. Did you get it right this time as well? And was it easy? Please, let me know. So, I hope you realized that although you might not possess absolute pitch, you do have an interesting ability to identify or feel the right pitch or the right key of musical pieces. This leads me to my next video. When I say musical key, what do I mean? What does it mean to say that a musical piece is in a key? What does it mean to say that the prelude in C major by Bach is in C major? And why is it important? Please join me for my next video, The Key to Classical Music.